Then please, Professor Asuu, a distinguished intellectual and accomplished scholar, a global scholar for that matter. Come, sir. Thank you very much. Pro-Chancellor. Thank you, sir. By members of the university management, having acknowledged the entry of the Pro-Chancellor, I think it is just appropriate now to pay due respects to the #1 citizen oppressors are found to be a thorn in their flesh. The man that could not be bought. Distinguished scholars, please welcome to the high table our own Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, the man that could not be arrested. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union is our strong. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's give it to ourselves, please. Yes, on the trail of the Pro-Chancellor, the #1 citizen to the National Administration. Olatunde University, talking about our new Vice-Chancellor and member of the Academic Staff Union too, part of it. That is talking of Professor Ayodeji Johnson Agboola. We also have on the high table the BBC admin, Professor C.O. Adekoya, another prominent Asuu member too. The registrar of the university is also here. That is talking of Mr. Olufemi Ogunwojo. The university librarian is ably represented by Dr. Mrs. Adekomise. The complement of the management is completed with the presence too of the bursar. That is talking of Mr. Samuel Makinde. At this juncture, I will be handing over to my colleague, Mr. Wali Balogun, to announce other distinguished guests that are here.
The Pro-Chancellor, all other protocols duly observed. I have the honor to invite to the high table our distinguished professor from Solarin University of Education, who is also the Vice-Chancellor of Great University. Is there any other person? Oluwole Banjo. Can we give him a round of applause, please? Also in our midst is another distinguished scholar and also a former member, Governing Council of this great university, the former Pro-Chancellor, the current Pro-Chancellor of Solarin University of Education, the former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Lagos, and the scholar, Professor Rahmon, Bello. Please come to the high table, sir. Also in our midst,
thank you very much. Thank you very much. We quickly want to recognize the presence of other key personalities that are gathered here. I'm glad to tell us that this event is well attended by the National Asuu Secretariat. We have the immediate past president of Asuu, our own Professor Abiodun Ogunyemi in the house. Please stand up for recognition. And I think your place is here, sir. Thank you very much. We also have the National Financial Secretary of the Secretariat, the Asuu National Secretariat here, talking about Professor Adejuma. The National Treasurer is also here, Professor Olushiji Showande. All the zonal coordinators are here in solidarity with OU Asuu. And first is Professor Oyebamije Igoke, the zonal coordinator, Ibadan Zone. Professor Olufayo Oluolu, zonal coordinator, Akure Zone, is also here. The man that will help us put flavor on the occasion is just walking on to the high table, and that is talking of the guest lecturer, a distinguished university administrator, a pro-chancellor of the Solarin University of Education. And I remember him very well as a former commissioner of special duties in Ogun State. And as a journalist, I can testify to the fact that he was among those that have fitted themselves very well, professionally. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about our own professor from Ogun State, Yewa, to be specific, Rahmon Bello, former Vice-Chancellor of UNILAG, the guest lecturer of today. Can we give it to him? You're welcome.
Also in our midst is a representative of the Vice-Chancellor of the State University. Professor Edi Olanipekun is the Vice-Chancellor of the State University He is ably represented by another distinguished professor, Professor Anyon Adeleke. Please come to the high table, sir.
You're welcome, sir. The coordinator of the zone is also here, Professor Fred Asuu. Professor Fred Asuu. We also have various chairmen of our respective zones. Of course, but first, acknowledge our chief host, and that's talking about our own chairman here, who is going to be that is hosting everybody. And once he's around, we'll duly give him due. But we have chairpersons and experts from neighboring universities duly represented here. We have Professor O.S. Awokola from FUNA, Abeokuta. Professor Awokola, you're welcome, sir. Professor Biodun Badmus, FUNA, is also here. Professor Toye Adekunle, Lautech. Professor Biodun Olaniran, Lautech too, duly represented here. We have the Asuu chairman from Solarin, Professor Solarin Adao. Professor Ayo Akinola is also here from UI. Dr. Olatunde from University of Asuu. Dr. Adams Akewula, that is the former secretary, UI Asuu. You're welcome. We also have Dr. Ibrahim Adesina, the National Secretary, UNILAG. Dr. Olatunji Ganiyu, Secretary, UNILAG, is also here. You're welcome, sir. We have Comrade Alaba Olalekan from UI. We have Comrade Sarah Akintola from UI too. UI is heavily represented here. Dr. A.A. Badge of FUNA, you are recognized, you're welcome. We have Comrade Oludolapo Dediron from Ilorin. Many chairmen from different chapters are here. And as others come, we'll give them due recognition. Dr. Ray Chikogu Unibet Chairman, you are duly recognized. Professor Simon Ihiabi, University, I think that is Depola Gashi University. You're welcome. Dr. Laika Olagun Kwasu, auditor. Dr. Daud Adeshola Kwasu, Unibank Chairman. Comrade Adebayo, UNILAG, Asuu, you're welcome. Comrade Ashiru, UNILAG Chairman, you're welcome. Comrade Yusuf, from UNILAG too, you are duly acknowledged. Adeleye Oluwademiga, UNILAG Chairman, I think we are duly recognized. And many distinguished comrades that are here. And we have members from Ekiti State University to Professor Ayo. Many others that are duly here that we will not take your presence for granted. At this junction, may I invite our own chairman here, the chief host of the day, Dr. Joel Kowali, to please come to the high table. Dr. Kowali, please let him chief host. It is my pleasure to invite, for recognition, the right of the high table, the honorary of today, the man of the moment. an accomplished administrator, the man that changed the paradigm. He will be rightly referred to as the architect of modern Olatunji University, a man that demystified university administration. It is not in the history of Asuu to have done this to anybody. And that is making this record signify something very important. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to duly welcome and recognize, even though it's already on the table, our own general overseer, authentic Professor Ganiyu Olatunde.
Now, what you might display,
Thank you very much.
You need that. Should be me, shall we shake?
Pro-Chancellor, other distinguished personality at the high table, distinguished member of the audience, it is now time for us to stand and remain standing for the national anthem. Thank you very much.
Mama shake HDMI.
Thank you very much. I will also be seated. Pro-Chancellor, the Chairman of the Council, Olatunji University, other distinguished guests on the high table. It's my pleasure to now invite the former chairman of Asuu, Dr. Latif, so please step forward and conduct the solidarity song. Dr. Latif. Dr. Latif.
Share this camera on my system of
When the union's inspiration through the wonders God shall run, there can be no power greater anywhere beneath his sun. Yet what was on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one. But the union makes us strong. Solidarity, solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. They have taken unto me. Not a single will get gone. We can break their haughty powers. They not freedom when we learn that the union makes us strong. Solidarity. In our hands is placed the power greater than the heart that goes, greater than the might of atoms, magnify the thousandfold. We can bring to birth a new world from the ashes of the old. For the union makes us strong. Solidarity.
Let's give it to our former chairman. Thank you very much for that. We go straight to the business of the day. Why are we here? And there is a Yoruba day that says, please, let's see, welcome to the microphone, the chapter chair, Sir Joel. Opening address. The President of Asuu, Bello, Pro-Chancellor and Asuu, the principal officers of our union, the Vice-Chancellor, the Agola, the immediate Vice-Chancellor, Professor Olatunde,
the guest lecturer, Professor Rahmon, Bello, the zonal coordinators here present, all chairpersons of our branches present, fellow comrades, other invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you heartily to this landmark occasion in the annals of this great university. Today marks a memorable day in the history of Olatunji University, and indeed a unique day in the history of university administration in Nigeria. This is so because it appears to be the first time a Vice-Chancellor is being publicly celebrated by our union for his exemplary leadership style in administering a university. As a tradition, Asuu does not celebrate the occupant of an office until he has successfully discharged himself. This, of course, informed our decision to schedule this program for 1 week after the expiration of the tenure of our immediate past Vice-Chancellor, Professor G.O. Olatunde. To us, G.O. Olatunde, in his 5.5 years as the head of this university, demonstrated the spirit of comradeship as espoused in the principles of our union. In his conduct and relationship with members of the university community in general, and Asuu in particular, his action as Vice-Chancellor justified his previous assignment as the chair of Asuu branch and a former zonal coordinator of our union. As a matter of fact, he refused to be sucked in by the temptation of office, as was the case with other comrades who had held their position and were later privileged to be appointed as Vice-Chancellors. As a Vice-Chancellor, one unique feature of Professor Olatunde's administration was his willingness to engage people, no matter who they are, in fruitful discussion on issues that will bring development to this university. As a union, we took advantage of that opportunity and made several useful proposals, which he accepted and implemented in the interest of this great university. For this, we can boldly and openly say that we are very proud of our relationship with Professor G. Olatunde, a quintessential Vice-Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor. Ladies and gentlemen, it is on record that the foundation of this Secretariat, where we are seated this morning, by Professor Olatunde. Not only that, he was the first person to make a personal financial contribution towards the construction of the building, given before our members started to come. Today, we are very happy to see that this project was completed during his tenure, and as fate will have it, the first official program by our union in this building to celebrate him. And is using this opportunity to challenge our other comrade Vice-Chancellors to take some lessons from the administrative style of Professor G.O. Olatunde in the conduct of the affairs of their various universities. We wish to remind them that we are supposed to be partners in efforts to move our universities forward. So our universities said here today that there will always be a day of reckoning for everyone. For Professor Gio Olatunde, today is his own day of. Let us all work conscientiously to make our own day of reckoning as sweet as, if not sweeter, than this. Once again, I congratulate the honoree and thank you all for gracing this occasion. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, the Chief Host. We have a slight adjustment to the program. The Pro-Chancellor is slated for another urgent assignment, but he has promised he will not leave without dropping a message that could set an agenda for subsequent proceedings. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the microphone, is already with him already, our dear Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council, Professor Asuu, OON.
Sorry, I retired from university in 1992. So, and since then, kind of the bargaining. First of all, let me recognize our new Vice-Chancellor, Professor Olatunji. Let me recognize the honoree of today, Professor Ganiyu Olatunde. Let me recognize my brother, my friend, Professor Rahmon Bello, the guest speaker today, the DVC admin, Professor Adekoya, the registrar, Mr. Ogumoju, the bossa, Mr. Femi Makinde. I'm trying to show you that I know all the names in a short time. So I'm showing off. And the Asuu president, sorry sir, so that you will not get into trouble. You're welcome. There is something about me and Asuu. First of all, let me apologize to you that I'm distorting your program. I'm supposed to be somewhere out of town now in Lagos, but I begged them to wait for me that I must not miss this occasion today, which is very, very important to me, because, and I will explain to you why later, why I have to be here today. When I accepted to come here, I know for sure that it's going to be time for me to be here. My mistake is that I must accept to be here and then start to work out how to be here. And somehow, I got here today. Now, this is my second month, actually 2 months very soon, that I became the Pro-Chancellor of this university. And this is the third time I'm meeting Asuu. An Asuu function. That means I'm between me and Asuu. I was in Asuu when I was in university, but my experience about Asuu was that one day, President then said, we must all move out of the campus
I could see my friend Professor Solarin laughing in the crowd there. He said, we must leave the campus. And believe me, I have nowhere to go to. I know now that Asuu is so strong now that no government will ask you to leave your house. Believe me, we have to follow this line because we have nowhere to go. On a more serious note, I stayed here because in my own working life, I've never worked with anybody in such a short period that has made so much impact in me, in terms of relationship, in terms of cooperation, in terms of friendliness, in terms of everything that makes a difference. My work relationship, I've said this somewhere before, my work relationship for Agola started within 2 hours that I was announced that I will be the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council of this great university. And within 2 hours, I got a call from somebody, unknown number. And I said, hello? Because the call was too many that day. I was getting so many calls that day. But by nature, I pick calls. No. That is just my nature. Because I'm a communicator. And the guy said, hello, sir. I said, yes. I said, who is this, sir? He said, don't call sir for me. I'm your boy. I said, who are you, please? I'm Professor Ganiyu, the VC of Olatunji. I'm already getting used to the new VC. But anyway, I'll come to him later, don't worry. He said, I'm Professor Olatunji. I said, the new the VC of OOU. I said, oh, you are? Oh. I said, why? Okay. He said, when can we meet, sir? I said, meet. I said, anytime. He said, I'm going to see you in Lagos. I said, but I have a tight program. He said, when is the earliest time? I said, 2 days' time. Go and be there. He told on my house in Lagos. Since that minute, it was love at first sight. There was hardly any day we don't talk on the phone. There was hardly any day we don't come up with something great that was vision of this university. I just said to him, but you are leaving. What the heck is your business about? He said, no, I've planted a tree and I want you to germinate. He said, I have a vision which I've started, and I want it to live beyond me. And I do not want you to take credit for it. I want the coming generation to take credit for it. That is the selfless person I'm thinking. And I know that if I tell you the template and you can buy it, it will be good. And I look at the vision, it matches my own vision. And I said, yes, I will support it. I call you Mr. Vice-Chancellor, sir. I've seen people leaving workplace. They carry their coffin, they carry a board of their coffin to go. I've seen people going and they start throwing stone at them. Ole, goodbye. It's not rare. It's not rare at all to see people leaving places and people stone them goodbye, good riddance. But you are living and you are being celebrated. That says a lot about you, sir. You are living and you are being celebrated a union that I know very well. A union that I've stayed with less than a month ago to negotiate 2 times. And by the time I finished, I then said, "Sir, ma, what is my takeaway from here?" He said, "We go and think about it, we come back." You are being sent off by a union that is perceived to be very strong. I don't use for stubborn, very strong. Sorry, I didn't say stubborn, I didn't want to say stubborn. And believe me, whether you have been Asuu president, Asuu this, Asuu that, in the past 5 years, you have crossed the high to what they call the bourgeois session. And you are now being sent off by people they pass as bourgeois. That shows you that you are a good man. This is a very joyous stand-off, and there's a lot about it. I said this somewhere about a week ago, that a lot of people get to somewhere and they see darkness in the tunnel. They turn back, or they set mess around the tunnel, or they move back and somebody to go into this darkness. You should light a torch, light, and walk through that tunnel. And in the way you prepare and fix everything in the tunnel, and you imagine clean, clear, with a great pathway. I congratulate you that you spent 5 years without rancor. Trust me, university management is very difficult. In as much as you see me in Agbada, I used to be part of you, and I know who is a lecturer, sir. Something you don't mess around is brain. And when you have a collection of brain anywhere, you cannot mess around with brain. You can't even lie to them. They can see through you. This is the only audience I know that I cannot be a politician. I cannot be a corporate chairman. I can only be a articulate person. I have to be a corporate. If I say that, I'll be in trouble. I promise you. But I do appreciate what you've done in this university. I drove around with you, and one of the things that struck me is continuity. You got in here, you found a lot of abandoned projects. You took it up to finish it. That is a plus for you. A lot of leaders, in trying to get recognition, will start their own afresh. They will not finish those that they met being built or being completed. You completed a lot of them. We went through it together, and I'm very, very impressed. Under your watch, the Senate building was finished. Under your watch, the ICT center was built, the biggest and the greatest in Nigeria. If you ask me some years ago, what do I know about Asuu? I'm from Ijebode. It's a school of courts, courtism and robbery and all sorts of bad things. You came in university. That's an achievement. Not only that, there are 3 things the university is known for: teaching, research, and contribution to the society, community. As your Pro-Chancellor and direct boss for a short time, I did an assessment of what you have done in this area. Through research, interview, I score you A star in all the 3 areas. I'm going to miss you a lot. but you are passing the torch to your lieutenant. Therefore, we have a great continuity. Professor Gola, you are stepping into a very fast shoe. Not in size, but in capability. I can tell you that you have a lot to do and catch up on, and I'm sure you are up to the task. You said to me that and with my boss, I've seen his vision and I've gotten his vision, and I hope you do that. I could go on and on and on, but my friend here, Professor Bello, would like to leave to Lagos very soon. I have to leave quickly, but I will leave with one word for you. As you are going, God will be with you. Your best is yet to come. What we don't have in this university is just the beginning. You are going to have greater exploits. The sky is your beginning, not your limit. As your days increase, so shall your strength, so shall your joy, so shall your happiness, so shall your prosperity. I wish you and your family very well. Your next call will be greater and much greater than this. I will miss you, but I can tell you, I've gained a brother from here. You're not only my colleague, you're also my brother. I thank you very much for what you've done for this great university. I wish you well. I wish you Godspeed. I apologize that I have to leave quickly because I have to be at another function out of town. But I'm sure you're going to have a good time here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Can we put our hands together for the Pro-Chancellor and the chairman of Government Council, Olatunji University? Now the distinguished man on the high table, our own member of the audience, distinguished member of the audience. Now it's time to have some intellectual discourse. Since we are celebrating a man who has been severally described as an intellectual entrepreneur, a citizen scholar of note, is no any other person than our own immediate past Vice-Chancellor of this great university, Professor Ganiyu Olatunde. Can we give him a round of applause, please? Now it is time for, like I mentioned, it is the intellectual discourse we are going to do now. To do that now is, the lecture title is the role of Vice-Chancellor in the evolution and sustenance of a viable university system. To do justice to this is another distinguished scholar, a former Vice-Chancellor, a current Pro-Chancellor of a great university in Ogun State. To do the introduction of this scholar, of this citizen scholar, I will humbly invite Dr. Mrs. O.T. Olayemi to please step forward and give the introduction of the guest lecturer. Dr. Olayemi, please. Thank you very much. Can we give her a round of applause?
Thank you. All protocols duly observed. Today's occasion is a commemorative program in honor of Professor Ganiyu Olatunde. A program organized by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Olatunji University branch. Our guest lecturer for today was the former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Lagos. He is currently the Pro-Chancellor Chairman, Governing Council, Solarin University of Education. He is a seasoned administrator, a leader par excellence. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Professor Rahmon A. Bello.
Well, the Pro-Chancellor just left. My dear colleague, Professor Asuu, FANG, the Vice-Chancellor, Olatunde University, Professor Agbola, the Vice-Chancellor, National University of Education, Professor Wale Banjo, the President, Academic Staff Union of Universities, I think just stepped out too, Professor Solarin, the immediate past President of Asuu, National President, Professor your own and our own Professor Bello. The special guest of honor today and our immediate past Vice-Chancellor of OU, the man you call GO, Professor Ganiyu Olatunde, congratulations. As leaders from all over universities around that have so many of the universities mentioned, but let me particularly recognize the one from my former university and all the leaders from UNILAG led by Dr. Asuu. All the members of the management of OU here present, members of staff, academic and non-academic, and those invitees, distinguished and gentlemen of the press. It is my pleasure to be with you this morning at the invitation of Asuu OU to deliver this lecture to commemorate the end of tenure of Professor Olatunji as Vice-Chancellor of Olatunji University. Professor Olatunji is not unknown to me, and I'm not new to OU as well. I was on the council of this university earlier on, and I remember before Professor was called up to National Asuu, we were together on the council of this university. So I know what OU stands for and what has been going on within OU. And I know when Professor Olatunji also came in, what he met on ground and what he has been doing. So when I received a call from the chairman, Asuu chapter, Dr. Okiwale, and eventually the letter, I was first taken aback as I saw that this is an unusual event. Unusual in the sense that typically, Vice-Chancellors are not known to be seen as friends of unions. They are usually considered anti-unionists in general. and in most places don't see eye to eye with the unions. I thought over it and arrived at the conclusion that Professor Olatunde must have done something right and have hit the grand court in administering OOU during his time to deserve this treat. Coming here today, I can understand why and what he has done to earn this respect. Congratulations, Professor Olatunde. I want to also stay with him and with what we're doing today in the best interest of the Nigerian university system, which I've been part of for most of my life. Let me also say that I got the invitation to deliver this lecture before I was announced as the Pro-Chancellor of Asuu. And I did accept just about the same time I was being pronounced the Pro-Chancellor of Asuu. I could have been Pro-Chancellor here anyway. But whatever happens, we thank God for you and for what you have done in this university. Let me go on straight to the assignment that I've been given today. The topic I was given to discuss is the roles of Vice-Chancellors in the evolution and sustenance of a vibrant university system. That's the topic as was given to me. To me, this looked a little generalized, and I said that we need to really make this reflect the Nigerian situation. So I changed the topic to roles of Vice-Chancellors in the sustenance of a vibrant Nigerian university system. I think this is what Asuu has been struggling for, and this is what Asuu stands for as well. Before I continue, let me congratulate Professor Emmanuel Osoreke and the National Executive of Asuu for your sustenance, the struggle, and your immediate gains. I call it immediate, and I hope they are sustained. We've been monitoring and watching. We were all part of the issue, all the issues we are fighting for earlier on. And I know what they mean and what they stand for to really for the university system. So we will talk a little bit about this as we move on. But I want to congratulate you and put that on note that you stood your ground and we are here today, and I pray that this will be sustained to at least particularly help the public universities in Nigeria. So I'm going to discuss this topic briefly along the outline that has been put on the screen. We'll look at the historical development of university education in Nigeria to put everything into proper context. I will discuss university regulation and governance. Thereby, I want to also bring out the role of the Vice-Chancellor as my topic is. I will also, in relation to all other governing organs of the institution, of the universities. I will also be discussing the roles of universities and also their cut-off, what should be the role of Vice-Chancellors. And after that, I want to categorize a typical Vice-Chancellor, what it should be. And I will probably put that against what Gio has made to you in OOU. Expected challenges on Vice-Chancellorship is what also I would like to discuss before I conclude. But we do this very briefly because I know you have a lot of other events to do today. Let's go on to the historical development of universities education in Nigeria. As we all know that the map of higher education in Nigeria, particularly university education, is very high and is considered an investment in human capital, but also a requisite for socio-economic development of the nation. It's supposed to remain a priority area for succeeding governments, whether it has been that or not is what all of us can look at and discuss. But because it's supposed to be so, because the fundamental to development of high-level manpower within the context of the nation's needs and also in the age of the knowledge economy that we are in. The National Policy on Education gives all the key elements. They are all in the text that I've provided, and you can look at them. To contribute to national development through high-level manpower development training, inculcate proper values to the proper individual and society, and so on and so forth, promote and encourage partnership and community service, forge and cement national unity, promote national and international understanding and interaction. But quickly, we started university education in Nigeria with the University College in Ibadan in 1948, and it was then an affiliate of the University of London. At independence in 1960, there was the Agri Commission set up by the federal government to conduct investigation to the grammar manpower requirements. By that time, it was up to 1980. Before submission of the report, the then Eastern Region government established its own university at Nsukka, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, in 1960. The implementation of the Asuu report 1962, however, led to the development of the University of Lagos, which then thus became the first university to be established by an act of parliament by the federal government. Also in 1962, University of Ife, another university, was established by the then Western region, and the Northern region then established Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. So those two, just like Nsukka, also started as regional universities. Also, the same 1962, University College Ibadan was converted to an autonomous university and became the University of Ibadan that we know it today. Those bringing total universities in Nigeria at that time to 5. In 1970, the then newly created Midwestern region established its own university, the University of Benin. So these 6 universities established during that period, 60 to 70, were what I refer to and some of us refer to as the 4th generation universities. Then the 3rd national development came up, the plan came up 1975 to 1980, and provided for the establishment of 7 more universities which are to be located in states then where there were none at that time. At that point, University of Calabar, which began as Calabar campus of University of Nigeria, came up. University of Jos, founded as a campus of University of Ibadan, also came up. University of Maiduguri, University of Sokoto, University of Ilorin, former campus of University of Ibadan. University of Port Harcourt, which also took off as the University College in 1975, affiliated to University of Lagos, and Bayero University Kano, which started also as Abdullah Bayero College, attached to Ahmadu Bello earlier on. So the 70, these are the second group. And 1979, Constitution, by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, university education was placed on the concurrent legislative list. This in effect meant that both states and federal governments could establish their own universities. Up to that point in time, only federal governments established universities,
after the initial constitution was suspended by the military. Remember, the regions had their own, but then when the military came, it was suspended, and only federal government were establishing universities. But by the 1979 constitution, state also were establishing universities, which now gave rise to the first set of state universities. And these are called at time the third generation universities. There were 8 of them then. The Bender State University Ekoma, Anambra State University of Technology Enugu, Imo State University Okigwe, Rivers State University of Science and Technology Port Harcourt, Ondo State University Ado-Ekiti, Ogun State University, our own university here, was in that group, Lagos State University and Cross River State University. In 1988, federal government announced the establishment of the University of Abuja. Thereafter, then began the era of so those universities along with Abuja are classified as the third generation universities. From 1991 to date, there were more federal and state universities, and the National Open University of Nigeria and the licensing of private universities commenced. The period from 1991, let's go to the next slide. I have a table there which shows this in total. I've classified the number of universities, whether by state, federal, or by private concerns in the 3 regimes I've discussed. The last set, which I call fourth generation, are those ones that included the private institutions, universities. In that period, we have had a total, as of today, a total of 195 universities in the fourth generation group. When you further analyze that period, and I've broken them into 2, I carved out the period 2011 to date, when the issues of inadequacies in the infrastructural factors for public universities have been brought to the fore. We have seen that since then, a further 22 federal and 20 state universities were established along with 71 private universities, without taking care of the problems identified with the public institutions. I think that's what Asuu has been fighting over, and this is what we appreciate Asuu leadership for wanting to bring to the fore. So when I say congratulations to Asuu, I know what I'm talking about, because you keep establishing new universities while the old ones are rotting away, and we expect to produce first-class universities that will compete with other universities all over the world. That is impossible. Kudos to Asuu, and we wish you the best in your. That's just a brief introduction of historical development of universities, and we can see where we are and what we are in university education as of today. Let's go to university regulation and governance. The regulation of university education comes directly from federal government through the National University Commission. And the NUC improves quality of university education in the country through the following activities as documented by Okuji in 2007. Addition of courses, approval of courses, maintenance of minimum academic standards, monitoring of universities, guidelines for setting up universities, monitoring private universities, prevention of establishment of illegal campus, implementing appropriate sanctions, and so on and so forth. However, while the overall control of each university is vested in the governing council with a Pro-Chancellor at the end of affairs, the Vice-Chancellor sees to the day-to-day running of the university, implementing the decisions of the council. So we begin to see the roles of the Vice-Chancellor as we move on from here. In addition to this, there's a Senate of each university with the Vice-Chancellor as the head, which regulates the academic activities of the university. All this we know. For the private universities, apart from the government council, let's go to the next slide. Okay, I just done a pictorial of that governance structure so that they can be easily seen out. Look at the public universities compared to the private universities. Each of them, we have the proprietor. In the case of the public universities, is a president of the nation or the governor of the state that owns the university. Whereas for the private one, we have a proprietor. It could be an organization, religious, or otherwise. It could be an individual, as we have seen in the last one. Then we have governing councils that are given the direct authority by the public owners to handle situations in the universities. Similarly, for the private one. For the private institutions, we have board of trustees. You can see that just below that green circle for proprietors there. That's supposed to, that's a safeguard. It's supposed to really complement the work of the proprietor. So proprietors don't really run the institution alone as a sole owner or run it as a secondary school somewhere. This board comes to now moderate the effect of the proprietor to ensure that the universities are well governed and controlled. So when to appreciate the roles of the Vice-Chancellor in the Nigerian university system, we want to locate the Vice-Chancellor here. As you see there, the investment management report directly to the government council and is on the day-to-day management of the institutions. Here, we see that the reporting lines, we have the Chancellor up there, even though it's up there in yellow, it's only a ceremonial head and does not get himself involved in the affairs of the university per se, unless when contacted and consulted. The ceremonial head. The government or the owners of the institutions create the policy directives. The governing council, they take care of the finance, the control, and the normal direction for each of the institutions. While the investment management under the head of the Vice-Chancellor is in charge of the day-to-day running. And I say, the Vice-Chancellor becomes either the chief executive officer or the chief operating officer. In the write-up, you see what I mean by that. For public institutions, definitely the Vice-Chancellor is the chief executive officer because he controls all the inputs. Whatever the inputs are, he uses that to get the outputs that are needed to really create growth and development. But in the private institutions, the Vice-Chancellor may not necessarily because the proprietor can take some roles off him. And while he does the day-to-day running and create the mandate of the universities, infrastructure and other funding things may be taken away from him in some cases. So that's why I said it could be the chief executive officer or the chief operating officer. In those cases, it will be chief operating officer in that regard. So let's go quickly to the roles of Vice-Chancellors. Having established the governance structure and pattern, we know, as I've been highlighted earlier on, the Pro-Chancellor also mentioned that the core mandates of universities are three: training, research, and services. So a review of the demands of these three areas of interest, we highlight what Vice-Chancellors are expected to keep tabs on, as these are what define the university, the status, and well-being. All the activities of the other organs of the university governance structure, as mentioned in the last session, are to be geared to the performance of the university in these three areas. So whatever they do, it is the university Vice-Chancellor that translates them into the reality and where and maintain the situation as it is. So let's look at training. What I mean by training here is what people generally believe is the main focus of universities, the production of graduates or trained manpower. Training in the university system is more than the production of graduates alone. Universities determine what programs or disciplines they want to carry to meet their demands. There are universities, as we know today, we have some of them that are termed general universities who can go into any kind of program. And we are beginning to have some of them that are now being termed specialist universities who are just for specialization. University of Technology, Agriculture, Medical Sciences, Education, etc. So those ones have specific discipline to deal with, while the other general ones like OU can go into any area and train manpower in all areas of endeavor. Training also, it has various stages. We have some degree programs, we have degree awarding programs, we have graduate programs, and we have elemental training. All these are things that will be handled and be in the saddle under the leadership of the Vice-Chancellor. Vice-Chancellors are expected to coordinate training through their universities, colleges, faculties, departments, centers, and units, created for that purpose, guided and guided by the rules and regulations of Senate. Of course, Senate is the academic organ of the universities, which is shared by the Vice-Chancellor himself. So the Vice-Chancellor plays that role of coordinating and moderating all academic facilities and academic programs of the institution. We also ensure the adequacy of resources in quantity and quality for the training activities. These resources could be human, material, or infrastructural. Interface with regulatory agencies is also one of its major mandates, because these programs have to be accredited, for example, by NUC and others that are involved. We are seeing now that for federal public universities, there are other things that have been brought in, which we will discuss as we move on later on. Ensure law and order are maintained, and particularly responsible for students' discipline in general. For research, this mandate of the universities is less understood by the public due to the level of technological advancement of our nation. Research is improperly harnessed, is proposed to find solutions to the myriads of problems confronting our nation, which is whether it's social, political, economic, or technological. The health of the nation is usually guaranteed by the way it takes and structure research. Research in universities can be basic or applied, and basic research helps to advance knowledge on particular subject matters in front of an attempt to reach a novel goal or theory. Applied research, on the other hand, are related to solving identified problems. This could be localized, national or international in nature, and this could be sponsored by end users in most cases. Research is also a component of the training mandates of universities. Postgraduate and final year students undergraduate programs are usually research based or contain elements of research. The level of research in the university depends on research infrastructure and the funding availability. These are other things that I know your union has been fighting for, and that is why the Asuu mandate to create funds has been one of the best that have happened to this nation. And we believe, even though it's going off course, it can be brought back to really follow his original mandate. Every academic member of staff is supposed to be involved with research individually and in teams, and advancement for this category of staff is likely based on research approach through publications, portfolios, and patents. So research is basic and major, as we all know, we are all university people and we understand what we're talking about. Services by universities can be corporate or by individuals, and they can be to communities, to the states, or it could be international. There are times when individuals and groups from universities are required or requested to carry out functions for the community, for government agencies or other agencies based on expertise. Institutions themselves will embark on carrying out services to assist the different communities, government, and local and national levels. This mandate for the universities is the least visible and understood yet. The government in particular and what agencies benefit immensely from the services provided by members of staff of universities. The services could be through direct appointments for long and short-term periods and also through consultancies. So those three mandates are under the control of the institution, of course, and at the direction of the Vice-Chancellor, also within his own program and his own vision for the institution. At the end of the day, the university will be calibrated by those three elements. And that is where we will put them in focus in terms of ranking, in terms of visibility, and in terms of what they stand for and the committee of universities. So when you are rating GO for the assignment, we have to look at him in these three categories. I'm sure he has done well enough of them. That's why we are here today. Congratulations, GO. The rules of Vice-Chancellors, I want to bring out clearly now. As I said clearly, the VC is the Chief Executive Officer for the university and at least COO in the private institutions. I think I've discussed it before, that the proprietor could be involved in some of the activities and as such, they limit the involvement of the Vice-Chancellor in some of the private institutions. But for public institutions, the Vice-Chancellor has to do everything. He has to look for the fund, he has to apply the fund, and he has to ensure the university is seeing the right light. But what makes the Vice-Chancellor's job quite hectic and unpredictable in the Nigerian university system is not the roles of managing the delivery of the core mandates, but the ancillary requirements for getting this done, particularly for public universities. Provision of public utilities, which could have been taken for granted in other climes, what usually gives Vice-Chancellors the greatest headache in Nigerian public universities. We'll talk about that later on. I remember when Prof. Olatunde took over this place and he complained about security. I know we discussed once or twice about it. And it's great challenge for them, the issue of courtesy and insecurity within this campus. And you have to devise the means to be able to link up that to that extent and ensure that we can put that in frame. I think that's one of the things I was mentioned earlier on, and I'm pleased to be celebrated for. These are not your normal, in Europe or America, for example, will not be your problem. All these are taken for granted. The public system will take care of water, light, infrastructure will be defined. And then security, the state police, the national police, all are there to be able to handle that for you. But here, that is what of all you first have to take care of before you can even have peace to do your normal mandate. So the Vice-Chancellor in the Nigerian student system is a real big and has those kind of problems and challenges. So apart from the normal mandates of trade research and Vice-Chancellor are normally able to explore novel means of generating funds for their institutions, other than fees and subventions. In other clients, Vice-Chancellor's schedules are more of interaction with alumni, business concerns, and wealthy citizens through the advancement organs for support and bequests. That is what you see them doing in the US and in the UK and other Europe and other places. For here, it's not as easy. We are not even used to bequest here. How many people have donated their facilities towards the university to use for our operation? Very, very few. But as we move on in life and as we get better, I think this will be managed. But then what we're saying is that the Vice-Chancellor in the Nigerian system has to be released from these mundane activities to be able to now go after the funding so I can fund the system properly and ensure that things go well within the university. This will be so, as I said, the older institutions, particularly in Nigeria, public institutions, and the category of universities whose bachelors should be expected to be fully in this playing this kind of roles. This will be so one institution determine their fate through financial autonomy, whereby they can be fully in control of their funding and can plan on what they claim and available. Today, you cannot be sure what to get. You only get, sometimes you get parcels or packets or whatever they call it, and that is made. And that doesn't mean that whatever you get as promissory notes will come for the institution to be used. The fees charged are not up to the normal level. You don't charge. The federal universities don't charge fees. They only charge things to take care of particular situations and all that. And government does not care about individual situations that are needed for the programs to run. They only care about what they can afford and just give whatever they can afford, and that's it. As long as they pay salaries, and we talk about salaries as we move on. Salaries is the same thing to water so as we find over. It's peanuts. And secondly, the IPPI system which we have been fighting over is an aberration. These are things that are studying the situation, and this is what exactly make the role of the Vice-Chancellor so difficult. Particularly public institutions to be able to get them to do the real mandate and move the university on the ladder to where they are. If all these things that I've talked about are taken care of, most of the fourth generation universities will be in the first 500 universities in the world. Because we are industrious, we are hardworking, we are putting everything that we have into what we do, but this will not show because these are masked by all those other challenges that we have. The internet service may just be for a few hours a day, if at all. Some universities only have power for a few hours a day. How do we do research that's continuous? If we have to do that and all that. These are the kind of things that universities in Nigeria, particularly public universities, even private ones, don't have full complement in the situation. These are what makes the job of the Vice-Chancellor very, very onerous and directed. So with all this, let's quickly look at what I believe a Vice-Chancellor should be, from my experience. From what we have discussed so far, the special roles of Vice-Chancellor, it can be that Vice-Chancellor should have some characteristics to be able to carry out these functions. Number one, he should be an experienced academic and researcher who is familiar with the integrity of academic and research issues in the system. That's basic. He must be such that commands respect from his peers for smooth running of the institution, meaning that he must not be controversial in any way. That's number two. The next major attribute is transmissive experience. Of course, this is what we are all praising GO for. The Vice-Chancellor must have been tested in administration in similar or comparable systems or subunits. Because if he doesn't have that experience, he's not able to manage the human elements along with the materials and other resources that he has. So the administrative experience is key, and that is substantial. He must be non-partisan. I think that is key. He must not have the own groups within the system. He must be open to everybody as much as possible, be able to accommodate everybody and hear their views and be able to satisfy their needs. He must also, at the same time, be astute and firm. But while being firm, he must be humane, because in being too firm, you throw the baby away with the bathwater at times. So while you are being firm, you must also listen properly, you must be a good listener and be able to select issues that need to be particularly taken care of so that you can really satisfy their needs. Particularly, it must be incorruptible. This is a major situation in Nigeria today, and it must be goal-oriented. Convention to Olatunji again. I think your goals, I think what we are celebrating today, and I want to wish you well. Then, I I quickly look at challenges of past leadership. I've mentioned some of them. I'll just summarize quickly before I conclude this short address. As I earlier mentioned, the performance metrics for a Vice-Chancellor are likely related to the university's achievements in its core mandate. However, this could be masked or marked by mundane problems in our climate. As I said, the issue of having to maintain sanity in the aspect of public utilities is a major thing: water, electricity, internet, transportation services, etc. In public universities particularly, which could lead to instability, genuine or induced, and short attention from the core mandates. So that's one major challenge that we see. The second one is closely associated with this is the funding issue for public universities. This has led to having to function effectively due to disruptions in the calendars of the institutions. I've been looking at this and congratulating Asuu. As I said, we pray that the agreement you just signed will come to fruition, at least be able to move on into the next stage. One major challenge which will apply development of Vice-Chancellors, whether public or private, is the intrusiveness of some high or sometimes high-handedness of the proprietors of the institution, directly or through the government councils or the Pro-Chancellors, trying to impose or force issues against the run of the system. This quite often has led to an unwarranted crisis within the university system to put Vice-Chancellors apart to account, where we have had similar situations all over the place recently. I'm happy that the Senate of that university stood its ground and things came back down. This is what universities are about, and the others of the university must know their rights and their functions to be able to deal with situations in the right way. Societal influence is also a major issue that we are dealing with now. As is normal in any time, the university is not immune or ward off a society is operating in. There are the positive or negative influences of society on the university and hence on the Vice-Chancellor. Negative influence, social influences in Nigeria context stem on corrupting tendencies. And this includes financial corruption by officials and staff, pressure for positions by staff, pressure for contracts, admissions, favors, etc. Therefore, the Vice-Chancellor must endeavor to play by the rules and establish credible systems for all transactions, as this counter-one can control the system if not paid adequate attention. So this is one thing that society has the role bestowed on the university system, which must be become the case to ensure that we remain what we should be as a university system. Of major concern today is the related development of ethnicity, indigeneity, and political influence on the choice and selection of the Vice-Chancellor. This is a dangerous development capable of eroding the values inherent in the university system. The Asuu struggle and reduce the political influence of the choice of Vice-Chancellors through the federal government seeking its plan in this regard to the government councils. However, recent trends and troubles have been bringing this trend to the fore. This is capable of not allowing academics to reach their potentials, whatever defeats their attempts, and may eventually lead to universities being denied of reputable expertise. Here, I also want to talk about the issue, one of the issues Asuu has been fighting, that is the issue of today, we've seen that the federal university systems have been particularly put under the core civil service. This is the major terrible trend that we are facing today. And that's what Asuu was fighting over, and I hope the struggle will come out neat. The RPPI system, I remember when I was Vice-Chancellor, we took it up under the Committee of Vice-Chancellors with the federal government. They kept promising and promising. That time, the RPPI was not introduced. They kept promising that all this would be put into it before it's implemented. The same promise we are getting today. So we must keep watch over that and keep that over that so that that is done if it has to be that way. We see what has transpired over the RPPS. You can see the level of corruption that has come under thanks to Asuu. These are come to the highlights. We see the ATM and all its components and what they are making out of the RPPS system. And what has our figures done to the system also? We are now being brought to the fore. We cannot hire staff directly, directly staff for institutions. How will universities now move up? Now, the universities, particularly public ones, are now sending or are the one training staff for the private ones. The private ones just wait, harness all those that are trained by the public ones and take them away. Because these conditions and situations within the public ones are not stable, one. Number two, you find that when they are ready for employment, you can employ them, they have to go and wait until you see, get up to the end of service to get permission to recruit. This is a very, very ugly trend, the system, which must be not allowed and must be done away with. So, Asuu, I thank you for what you are doing, and I pray that you succeed with it. We must not be allowed because it will kill the university completely. Following up my department in my university, I found that almost 2/3 of the lecturers are moving off. And they couldn't employ anybody in the last 3 years. So how do they get accreditation? How do you now sustain the quality? So these are the issues that are there. Those in the government will not listen, will not understand. But they must be made to understand and listen. And we must not allow them to just go. They cannot work for the best system, and this is what I want to thank Asuu for the need to. So in conclusion, I'm attempted to highlight the functions of universities in the Nigerian university system and thereby derive the roles of ambassadors in realizing the core mandates of the university. Also, leaderships of the various organs of the governance structure of universities were brought to the fore to emphasize the day-to-day roles ambassadors have to play in ensuring the functions of the other organs are realized. I also attempted to enlist the quality expected in the ambassador as well as the challenges ambassadorship in Nigeria is currently facing, including the relating or heavy influence of ethnic, ethnicity, and unity on the shores of Vice-Chancellor. In summary, some of the challenges faced by the university and the effect ambassadors are funding related particularly for public universities. A sustainable funding mechanism must evolve that will enable the university to access all funds due to it for its mandate without a political influence. I think I will not say anything beyond this for that, because that's what Asuu has been struggling for. I hope I will not just met the desires of Asuu Shatta in commissioning me to give this lecture. But now, other than that, I can now see why GO also is being particularly separated by Asuu. I want to put on record that OOU Asuu has been in the forefront in this zone, has produced a president of Asuu, the first of the kind in this zone, and has been forward-looking and has sought demands the kind of treatment that is given, and this edifice is a testimony to that, which I don't believe is a display. So I want to congratulate all you for that, and particularly also Olatunde for seeing that and putting that record here, that you are the first investor to produce a national president in this zone, and you are honoring us for that matter. And this celebrate which is very, very well deserved. Congratulations. So I want to congratulate all you for this unique stance of organizing self-funding for a Chancellor. It is not normal. This is the peak that the health leadership has existed in addition to Ganiyu Olatunji as our nation. This is a very good development that is recommended for other institutions to adopt to enable smooth performance in their institutions. I congratulate Professor Ganiyu Olatunji. I congratulate Asuu leadership in Olatunji University. I congratulate Asuu leadership nationally and in other institutions. And I congratulate Olatunji University. Thank you very much for listening. I think the applause
We need to recognize a distinguished citizen of Ogun State here, a very renowned politician, technocrat, who is here at the behest of the honorary, that is the special guest of honor today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please help me to recognize the presence of Benny Larry Banjo. You are welcome, sir. Thank you very much. Without much ado, we go to the next item on the program, which is a short performance by the Performing Arts Department. Are you ready? Over to you. Please. Please let us give it to them. Please. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. May I announce to us that this program is being streamed live globally, and the feedback we have been receiving is awesome. And we really want to acknowledge the various audiences there, and we take note of the fact that to appreciate the success of today's event. Thank you very much. We have in our midst quickly Comrade Naja, the Zonal Coordinator, Lagos Zone. Wale, this year, 1 or 2 cases.
Thank you very much. With the permission of the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Olatunde Abuola, may I quickly recognize our distinguished member of council, their president,
First on the list here is Professor Olusegun Adebayo Lawal. Thanks for coming, sir. Also on the list is our distinguished Professor ROC Shomoye. Thanks for coming, sir. Also have Professor Muhammad Afolabi Olatunji. Thanks for coming. And also Mrs. O.A. Osusoya. Thanks for coming. It's my pleasure.
Thank you, Wale. Next now on the program is a response from our Vice-Chancellor, the new Vice-Chancellor, brand new Terrible Vice-Chancellor. The tree that has been planted and will germinate and produce. Distinguished guests, please help me to welcome to the microphone the Vice-Chancellor of Olabisi Onabanjo University, Professor Johnson Agboola.
I'm very sure I'll be able to pronounce it well than my Pro-Chancellor. Isoneto, Anuta, Victoria. So you can see that I've not left my base. Even if they say that on the other side now. The Vice-Chancellor of this great university was Ganiyu Olatunde. The president is also double to be my own president, the Asuu president. That's the only president I always call my own president. I will continue to remain my president. Olatunde, the police officers are present. Police officers of the university, zonal coordinators, chairpersons of our union, provosts, deans, professors, and other comrades here present, as well as other members of the university community. I've listened attentively as if I'm in another classroom and I was taking lectures just the way I was when I was in UNILAG. And with every opportunity that you have, you must continue to learn. And all those things that the Pro-Chancellor of Solarin University mentioned, based on his experience as the former Vice-Chancellor of UNILAG, and one of the foremost universities in Nigeria, speak volumes. In fact, those things that he mentioned, that he referred to some of them, he talked about the issue of stable electricity supply, internet services. But just now when I mentioned electricity supply, because in this university we have tried so many means of combating this. Reduce the issue of diesel, and I can say for free, for 4 hours, the diesel consumption of this university is 40 million per hour, per month. 40 million per month for just 4 hours. We have tried NEPA. If you go to their website, it's 60.6 kilowatts per hour. And that gives me for 8 hours at the rate of 5 megawatts, give me another 30 million naira per hour more. We tried solar of different companies coming to us to talk to us on this issue.
Another one looks as if it's cheaper. That one is about 20 million per month. Today, after living here, I have another meeting with another group on this same issue of electricity. They are into gas, and they also want to come and resolve with us if you can have it cheaper. So at the end of the day, we'll be able to see how we can solve this problem. And I also notice that you talk about internet. Of course, in this age, there's one thing we can do without internet services. In this university, I'm going to pass Chancellor and move us to step 2 before he left. So we are planning to take us to step 16, which I think that's the highest for now. We'll try and see if we can get to step 16 before the expiration of this level. Security is one of the major problems that Prof said. And I thought as we move on in life, security has been a bit of a apart from banditry and kidnapping I've seen all over the place. And we were this that made one of us to laugh. The first day of the immediate Vice-Chancellor in this compound, it was welcomed with guns. The companies were treated sporadically. And when we asked what is happening, they said they are welcoming him to come to campus. And then we called the security unit and all of them. I said, how do we solve this problem? And then they said, we need to pay them, give them their own salary allowance every month, 250,000. That's the only way you can solve this problem. But behold, from device alarming, we use instead of giving them that money, that is the basis of the CCTV camera that we see everywhere. And then we then have collaboration with all the security network around us here. But we are going to take it a little bit further now. Right from the gate, there is a surveillance camera. So that will also help us to give up the security the more. The issue of funding, I'm not sure if it can disappear in a GB in this country. In this university, the salary rate bill is about 450 million every month. And we get 76 million from the proprietors. And we have a running cost of another 50 million. And how many school fees that we get everywhere? Scrape everything together. In a year, cannot even pay the salary. If you add the school fees, add it with what proprietors give you, cannot pay salary. But I like what the way Prof said it, that we should have a novel means of generating funds rather than fees and subvention. That we are starting in this university. Because apart from all those we are talking about, before Prof left, we are be able to generate nothing less than 1 to 2 billion naira outside those ones to augment the salary of this university. So that is why when you are on strike for 8 months, you can continue to pay salary. And during pandemic, we were able to pay salary all through as well. And the philosophy is very clear. We believe that when you are happy, it is when you can give your best to the system. Now that we have resumed, I know our people have started doing their best now, so that as soon as possible, we can restore all the lost period, and our students will also be happy with us. Peradventure, you are here, and you have not started doing your own lecture. Please go
and do that immediately after a year, so that we will not have cause to start looking at our eyes. Some have started doing that, but some are yet to go to class. Please, I'm using this opportunity to talk to all of us to make sure that we attend to our students as quickly as possible. Well, the last thing I want to mention here is that I also know that there is a difference between passenger, a conductor, and a driver. I've been the three together. I've been a passenger, I've been a conductor, now I'm a driver. You know, as a passenger, that time I was passing through this university as a student, so I thought I would not have anything to do with this place. In the last 5 years, I've been deeply involved in the administrative processes of this university. That means I'm also a conductor. You know, that time, conductor is one that will tell you that you have to do this. Don't pass out with pass this way. But today I'm also a driver. So I know that we have differences at every point. What is expected of you as a conductor or activity is very different from what is being expected from you as Vice-Chancellor. But there's one thing I learned from my own faith. Permit me to quote it here. When Elijah was going, which I said at council meeting, I know I have a big shoe that I need to step into. So it's not like Elijah and Elisha. And so when Elijah was going, the only thing that Elijah asked for is the total anointing of what? Of Elijah. And so as soon as he was able to touch that garment and find out when he was going on, he said, well, I'm happy. Because Elijah has already told Elijah, you have it. Now that you ask for the double portion of anointing, you already have it. And so the Vice-Chancellor, the only thing I asked for him when he was going, so I need a double portion of anointing on what you are doing. And he has prayed for me, you know, and I've got it very always put it. David, ó sì mí gan. Tó bá tásìkò tó bá ń bá tiẹ̀ wà á rọ̀ pọ̀ iṣẹ́. Wà á lè fi wà á ṣe dáadáa jù mí lọ. And I know that without prayer, all the final study, because everything that we are praying for, to me is a final study. And the Vice-Chancellor, the immediate Vice-Chancellor, he also know that it's a final study. So we did it together. For every aspect, we try it. Once it works, we leave that place. We try another one. Once it works, we leave. And then we try all those. That 6 pillars that I mentioned and said it. Now we are going to implement them fully. So if a pilot study can give us this accolade, I can imagine when we then deploy it fully, the way this university will look like. I pray that God will continue to assist us and continue to do the best for mankind. For this university, the council has also approved it. Our salary is on the first line chart. So before we do anything, salary must go first. As I can assure you that in the next 5 years, you earn your salary as I went due. If you never practice that, you take the salary to bank of the so that every time you get your salary. And people, and I can assure you, the salary will not change. I wish Professor Ganiyu, this is the first time I will call him Professor Ganiyu Olatunde. I used to call him Ego, and I have never called him Professor before. His word is always steady. You know, and I'm very sure that the only professor in this university, even the deputy Vice-Chancellor, that he used to call by that first name. They become here. Don't go speak by. Yes, sir. So, I wish to happy retirement from office as Vice-Chancellor, because because I have not left the system for us. But I also know that in the last 1 week, I can see that there is big difference being a Vice-Chancellor. I cannot sleep well like before. That time I thought I was stressed, but now I know the stress has not gone. But I know that with that double portion of anointing that my already collected from him and God has such me, I will also succeed in Jesus' name. I look out for you. Thank you very much. I hope Professor Olatunde left with a legacy of paying salary 5 days before the end of the month. And now, if the mantle will be double, that means we'll be receiving salaries. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now we on the program, item 10 on the program, which is the citation of our honorary of the day, the federal government. And to do that is Dr. Kemi Olayemi, sorry, Dr. Olayemi, and I want to tell us that the citation is already recorded. Come and do the record. Can we please acknowledge that?
The citation we are going to listen to is in honor of Professor Ganiyu Olatunji, and it's being recorded here and made available to be presented.
Distance. Your cable Mafi pa cable sí.
We are renewed in our minds as we march on to greater heights. Excellation, UNILAG in the tree of fools, service to the Father. Oh, yes, we are marching, taking our place at the top. Like a victory is won, we shall bring the victor's song. We are treading, showing the pathway of life. Wisdom on our side.
For his General Certificate of Education Advanced Level. Professor Ganiyu Olatunji holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Zoology with a second-class honor division from the University of Lagos. He had his master's degree in agricultural biology and a doctorate degree in agricultural from the University of Ibadan. He had been a research officer within the University.
Go on. 10 seconds. Done? Which will you choose?
I need to know.
It was a renowned American author, John Maxwell, who famously stated that a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. This time, tested maxim about leadership succinctly captures the success story of Olabisi Onabanjo University Agoiwoye under the leadership of Professor Ganiyu Olatunji Olatunde. A distinguished entomologist and seasoned administrator, Professor Olatunde initially assumed duties to the university in May 2017 upon his appointment as the acting Vice-Chancellor by the then visitor to OOU and Governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosun. By October 2017, the Governing Council of the University approved his appointment as the 8th substantive Vice-Chancellor for a period of 5 years. By all standards, the 5-year tenure of Professor Olatunde proved to be eventful, as it witnessed various activities and interventions that resulted in substantial growth and academic development of OOU. In line with the university's mission to provide the best educational experience for students, the management under the leadership of Professor Olatunde restructured and reorganized the institution into a true and working citadel of learning. As a result, the university experienced sustained and unprecedented development during its 5-year tenure. To ensure that OOU becomes globally relevant and competitive, the Vice-Chancellor adopted the policy of driving the university electronically from the onset.
I want the university to be technologically driven, that all operations of the university, especially for non-teaching, becomes automated. Fortunately for me, Professor G. Olatunde also has the same vision that I have for the university. So our vision matched seamlessly, and he gave all the encouragement that I needed and all the support that we needed for the non-teaching aspects of the university to be automated. We started immediately with the e-transcripts. Either to students have to come to the university to apply for transcripts, to pay manually, to do everything manually. But when we came in, we introduced the e-transcript system, whereby students all over the world can apply for transcripts, they can pay for transcripts, and then get a transcript, even get an e-copy of those transcripts without having to take the rigors of coming down to Agoiwoye to do that.
The novel achievements in this area led to significant reforms in the issuance of transcripts and certificates. Specifically,
Should I trust
the
you?
transcript office of the university was revamped through the setting up of
my
the
enemies are
e-transcript
plenty
request
in this
system.
place.
These enable the graduates of the
I don't even
university
trust
to apply
myself.
for and process their transcript from anywhere in the world
Just hold it like
without
that.
having to pass through agents
Now,
or
I
physically
can-
coming down to the university. Similarly, the certificate issuance and tracking system was placed online to ensure that certificates issued by the university can be easily tracked and authenticated seamlessly within the shortest period of time.
The first thing we did was to ensure that we have an online platform that have an handshake with both JAM as well as the WIC office. So there's no need of taking students that are not qualified to the system. So we verified all those things online. And then we also made sure that we started having artificial intelligence attached to what we are doing. Although at the initial stage, it was not being put into place fully, but we still use it to monitor what is going on in the hall. But during the pandemic of 2020, we deployed artificial intelligence fully, which enabled us to have the post-UTME where more than 30,000 students actually participated in that examination without coming down to the school. It was the first kind
Come on, CD on
in the
national
history
TV.
of Nigerian
Come on.
universities where you have an artificial
Something was
intelligence
kill a man,
deployed to
see.
the exam, and it was perfectly done. Again, our students
Do it.
admitted into the school. We ensure that they put them on the portal immediately and make sure that this kind of student we are talking about,
just do it.
once they pay the
After
school
all, you're a
fees,
doctor.
they are openly allowed to have access to their course registration form, which shows clearly that we can know the number of students at a go, which shows clearly that we can have at our fingertips how much university are able to generate through the school fees.
Also, the hitherto challenges that students encountered during registration exercises and the problems of processing results after examination are now things of the past. This is as a result of the introduction of integration of result processing and management system into
All right,
all
ladies
the
and
various
gentlemen,
programs of the university.
I
This
dedicate
new
my right
system
hand
has made registration most efficient
patterns
and the process of examination results
who
of
fell on this
seamless
stage.
and transparent to both
You know the
lecturers
drill.
and
When I say
students.
Desmond,
In
you say
effect,
Desmond.
this shortened the
When I say
turnaround
normal,
time
you
for
say
the generation of examination
Desmond!
results. Another gain of the automation was the ability of the students
Normal!
to track their academic progress from their respective portals without having to see any lecturer. In like manner, parents are equally happy to monitor their
ladies and gentlemen.
results
This
from
will have
their
been my
homes.
hands.
The deployment of
Thank you.
ICT by the Professor Olatunde's administration also dovetailed into automation of the undergraduate and
Liquor rules you're
postgraduate
seeing for the
admission
first time.
processes
It was
through online screening of O-level results and verification
Why do you
of
look
certificates.
Since this Vice-Chancellor,
How did that do for you?
actually shifted from
how
manual way of doing things to
I could not even look there. I was using the other day.
Me, I'm still so.
I did the
Absolutely.
if he was here and this year, then the other guy, what's his name, from last week. So in this competition, I don't know what
Pretty tough.
very tough.
Ini and Ike, definitely you're proud of them.
unlike before, they need to come over and pay. And now, almost every activity happening in this trying to registration
It made Dr. Sid cry. Old man was weeping.
You know, see how they play video game. This is a very important tool.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, give it up for Oracle. Take a bow, head on out. Thank you so much. Well done.
Get back to the students, send emails, send messages.
Does anyone here watch HIP TV?
Also,
you know HIP TV? Ladies and gentlemen, the CEO is here with us. Please make some noise for Mr. Ayo Animashao. Mr. Ayo, please wave.
During the COVID-19 pandemic.
Founder of Headies, from Hip Hop World Magazine to Headies.
In all campuses
Exceptional,
of the
man.
university, and directed that all students and
one of the most
staff should be
influential
given
people in the
open
country.
access
Now
to the
remember,
internet to
every
enhance
week this
teaching
season,
and
we're
learning.
giving out
In
300,000
addition to
naira for
these,
this exceptional
Microsoft Teams was deployed to power
from
teaching and learning for
last week.
students
They were quite
remotely,
very special
thereby
collab
reducing the risk of
edition.
students
However, However,
and lecturers
the
being
winners
exposed to
for
coronavirus.
the royalty
Most importantly,
card.
for the first time in the history of the university. In line with its policy of driving university tourism, the administration of Professor Olatunde made it mandatory that all the statutory meetings of the university are conducted online. The registry now makes use of less papers while conducting its activities. Thus, we almost run the entire
Give it up for
activities
UG
of the
Royalty
university
Air 36. Come on now.
virtually.
All right, next to perform, she was up for possible eviction, but she's safe and she's ready to thrill the audience, ladies and gentlemen. The only poet in the competition, I Be Quick.
For everyone under the sound of my voice, before you leave this earth, I want you to be the best version of yourself. It's not a coincidence that we met. We know that a brand new can one day become a tokumbo. We are the brand new that remains brand new. And Lord, your people don't want to become mechanics, they just want to be ballers. The mechanics become ballers. See your star shine like a diamond. Kinimo son diamond. Emilion, I be Baba God checking diamond on. That be quick with the words go. When they near me, they say I stop on. Who they carry last for Lagos, no be champion. On in the head, you're a diamond. There's something that happens in the atmosphere when I speak. Even a rumbling tummy will hold its shit. I take up any character like my dear. I'm tender to feelings. If you call me my dear, I have a performance of a Mercedes Benz. Words that come alive, we call it the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So why do you say hurtful things to yourself when words have the power to build or break a man? Don't you know that you are the creative that's way beyond anyone's budget? Call the CBN, no wonder this land is in sovereign debt. Why have you become the walking dead? You are not your identity crisis. That's a fake ID. I wish your memory of you being a moment would fade. And the license you give to disrespect to betray you. I pray you don't lose your value like Naira. At dollar rate, I hope you rise, not because of powers that be. You are the power that be. This is the quake effect. The power of telekinesis higher than Professor X would make a layman mistake me for Malcolm X. I give the cocoon the butterfly effect. Color your world with Ijola Balaba, broken crayons with no defects.
I distance myself from the owner like 7 feet. Even if he has to be close to the too much, I will respect him in vice in capital punishment. It is my deliberate policy, ladies and gentlemen, to distance myself from the university method as a deliberate policy, and I often advise those who are close to me to create a distance between them and the university for good reason. The office of the Vice-Chancellor involves an enormous responsibility. His powers are also enormous. The Lord gives immense discretionary power. And I often advise people, do not run into the problem with your Vice-Chancellor. Because if you run into the problem with it, you can determine your destiny one way or the other, even within the law. The only one of the text on the part of the Vice-Chancellor is the famous Yoruba concept of the word. That is one of the retaining powers. The powers that are normal, the discretionary powers are immense. But if I endowed with the famous Yoruba concept, which is the concept of good character, this thing must not be hard. I didn't do this to a fellow human. That is utterly. Another one is the religious conscience. Have a good conscience. Conscience is specified by religion. Who religion? Then you are likely to be spiritual. But more than that, or in addition to that, the Vice-Chancellor also has to contend with the union, especially as so much of this very sensitive one. Within a few weeks of indiscretion, the Vice-Chancellor can no longer arrest. A few weeks of indiscretion, because there are pressure to this and pressure to that. It is in the context of this pressure, the context of this pressure, where some can no longer as a man, a champion, a colossal, who absolutely believes himself a place in the annals of the city. By the way, the next unceasing sort of amazement is that Asuu, of all unions, will come up with the idea of a group in front of anybody's government. Asuu leadership always made up of more nonsense activists who actually administrators find irritating. A piece of copper bone in the neck is impossible to swallow and impossible to believe. If this same Asuu thinks a man's achievement is found to be documented and presented to the world, such a man was the honorable. Remember that a group lives forever. His contact will speak to generations to come. The contact will tell generations to come that the common path through this internet of life by the popular name G.O. Another interesting dimension. First, Ganiyu Olatunde was a graduate and Asuu activist himself. There is almost universally acknowledged as a total evidence that activists are rarely treated as people. It is almost universally accepted that activists don't make things and decisions. This is probably because the temperament and personality that inspire activists are all to those that support and inspiration. There is a certain restlessness and impatience associated with activism, which are a minor organization. Activism is about criticism and judgmentalism directed at making the system better. There is a strong being criticized and being judged. The recent year, I have the most important trade union on the continent of Africa, led by active and intelligent activists, has been donating some of the leaders to the university and Vice-Chancellor with one or two bitter and catastrophic consequences. This graduate here today and the contribution of the elegant brothers in the book of education are a practical illustration, in my mind, on the fact that Asuu is not just a body of activists and activists, but as within its own, people who can translate ideas and ideas into practical reality, positively changing the narrative of our university. Technocrats who can bring revolutionary changes in the lives of Nigerian society. I'm ready to read the book. Now, post the review, and the audience are familiar with the text already. We should be The text is an important paradox, a closed book, and an open book. More paradoxically, the open book is perhaps more important than the closed book. The book is both a vessel and a thing. The person who is the text has been with us for the past 5 good years, serving us effectively, and in a sense, he has kept us. But in a more fundamental sense, he will be with us forever. The celebration today of getable activities. Departments are functioning, colleges and faculties are working, laboratories are active and alive, the ICT center is operating with light, the staff are well fed and happy, I said the staff are well fed and happy. Staff are being the experience of the past 5 years. If also look at the landscape of our campus, main campus, the Kadamu campus, the Organization campus, the complete campus campus, and the business element of you, that collaborative organization I don't witness the COVID era. Politeness and custom may enjoin us not to say anything uncomplimentary about a person who is living a system. That's custom, that's tradition. May enjoin not to say anything uncomplimentary. In the context of that nature, therefore, people are forced to say things that are far from the truth. But you will agree with me that insincere words don't flow freely. If you are telling untruth, the word will not flow. On the contrary, there is evidence, there is eloquence and smoothness that turns truthful words and testimonies. The testimonies about you in this book come from people who have benefited from his generous spirit. As a testimony to this, listen to this presentation by Olutunde, lady pastor of the faculty of art. This is what he says. The outgoing Vice-Chancellor is without doubt an astute administrator who has a listening ear for all shades of opinion, accepts criticism in good faith, and tackles issues head-on, always having the university, its staff, and students in mind. His love for the welfare of staff and students is legendary. It is on record that it is during the tenure that it became the practice that salaries are to be paid between the 23rd and 25th of every month. Professor Olatunde, a resolute and relentless leader, has led the university through some interesting and challenging times, but he has embraced each one with fortitude, intelligence, grace, sacrifice, integrity, common sense, and great sense of humor. You can't be telling lies in those very free-flowing words. It's in words, these are words that flow from the heart. Now, one of them, I recall many years ago when Chibola Idiobele, of present memory, became the Attorney General of the Federation. Journalists wrote to say that here was a man of great stature, whose stature befits the office. In fact, it was said that he dignified that office. There are people who don't dignify the office. There are people whose stature are 1 or 2 sizes below the office, and we expect them to grow into the office. So that, unfortunately, some of them don't go into the office. They grow widely, like a wide plant. They grow by becoming oppressive leaders. They grow by becoming tyrants. They grow by sacking people, by sending people away from the system. They grow by ruling, by dividing people in order to rule them. That's the way they grow. By stature, I do not refer to the human physique. As one of the contributors remarks, Olatunde's physical stature may not be huge. His spirit, his intelligence, his vision and passion, his competence and capacity are outstanding. That's contributor after contributor have said that in this book. Yes, people with humility, teacher, vision, capability, and competence will reduce the office to their own smallness, deliberately causing crisis and cruelly afflicting people with hunger, habitually dividing people in order to rule and oppress them.
ruthlessly and statistically sacking people. This is not the time of PO. PO is or was a benevolent ruler, very benevolent. If you have received your salary for the past 8 months, during which you are on strike, you understand what I mean. If you have obtained your salary for 12 whole months during lockdown, you understand what I mean. Salaries are not paid. Whatever was the entitlement of the people, of the workers, was never denied them. So it was a benevolent rule. I have one technical problem with the book. There are about 26 chapters in that book. Everyone proclaims the achievement of Professor Olatunde, and they are saying the same thing. So for me, it would have been monotonous. In fact, in some places, it's monotonous because they are saying the same thing over and over and over again. But there are two beginning qualities of this. If people are saying the same, in my own scripture, as I believe, they say the testimony by the testimony of two or two witnesses, the truth shall be established. If 26 people are saying the same thing about the message, there's no time that there's enough. So that is one beginning feature of that repetition. The other one is that there is a directive that starts. People come from different backgrounds. Scientists, people in the humanities, lawyers, one or two things to say about it. Of this man. Let me summarize. There are three main things that all of them said about you. Good governance, two, staff welfare, and three, physical performance. Those are the three main things that all the 26 contributors said about you. Good governance. Well, many of the writers said there was due process. No doubt about it. But I recall that in spite of due process, you can also, as a good administrator, deliberately circumvent due process. When I was writing it to him recently, and to avoid the crisis snowballing into a major crisis, blowing our face, I had to go with the dean to see the Vice-Chancellor. He was still in the old office of the Vice-Chancellor, occupying the inner recess of the office. Because they are represented in this case, looked at it and said it in Yoruba. Don't quote me, Emma quote me. No, what I want to say, no quote me. Or quote no man say, for those who don't speak Yoruba, if you hurriedly bury a corpse in the night, there must be a problem. You hurriedly, why would you bury a corpse at night? It must be there was a problem. Either was accidentally, you are accidentally killed, or somebody has poisoned them, or something they must not be seen in the daylight. That's a quote in Yoruba. But in fact, I was amazed at that point, but they don't quote me. Unfortunately, the case was mismanaged. So badly mismanaged that it had to follow the process. And GO ensured that the case followed the process because it didn't manage it well. That's an example of wisdom in administration. That's it. There are other instances of that. I recall in the final scene, the Senate where we said goodbye to somebody was saying goodbye. First of all, I find amazing. And I find it to be magnanimous. There is a difference between being a magnanimous person and having magnanimous spirit. As a magnanimous person, you may give things out, you may concede things to people. But if you have a magnanimous spirit, you want people around you to be great, to enjoy his happy facility. That's magnanimous spirit. You don't mind people around you are getting promotion. There are people who are so mean that they don't like people around them to get promotion. That's main spirit of petty spirit. But it has a magnanimous spirit. And Simon said, well, I've done my best in the last 5 years. My prayer is that one way succeed will do better than me. That's a courageous prayer. I think I said, because I'm going to say the same thing today. Inclined to what person can do. Star welfare, I don't have to repeat myself for star welfare. It's all of us can see. Look around you and tell us whether the physical facilities are there. One of my colleagues and friends who went to the last about 20 years ago, left us for that program. Came for accreditation, he said, I told you last week. He didn't stop pressing issue that he thought he had gone the wrong way, had gone to the wrong place. Because when he was here 20 years ago, this place was like a village. Like a run-down village. But here, he encountered impressive structures and he debated it throughout the 3 days experience. That to me is an excellent testimony to his achievement in the area of facilities. There was one lady who also came for accreditation in her department. He didn't stop taking photographs. Not only taking photographs, also video recording all the especially of our high school facilities. And sending the same pictures to our own university Vice-Chancellor. Oga, look at what I see here. Oga, look at what I see here. Every moment was taking pictures. If that is not a testimony to your greatness, what is it? Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Asuu has written a book, has organized the writing of a book in honor of you. As I said, I'm running over it. Books live forever. Books live forever. Asuu is not a kind of union that plays with its own praise. The praise of Asuu is not cheap. Condemnation of Asuu is easier than praise. But if Asuu decides to honor a person with a book and a book praising him from page to page, written by deans, by heads of department, written by all administrators of all three attending them, with about 26 people saying the same thing, this man was free. That's what I do Olatunde. Even though I was not close to him, one was not everybody going to do. Somebody was better. And your family was happy in the back path. I wish you good luck in the future. We are getting close to critical points. Asuu is noted to be the most organized union in Africa. And if that position is true, Olatunde University chapter of Asuu plays a critical role in Asuu struggle in Nigeria. One of the testimonies to that is the edifice in which you are all seated today. Our investigation shows that this is the first of its kind in Nigeria. You have not seen the structure. By the time we get to the end of the event, we will have the opportunity to go around. This is just a tip of the iceberg, as we said. Let's give it to Asuu. Let's give it to Asuu.
Thank you very much. I will put our hands against together for the ritual. Vice-Chancellor, the honorary of today, people used to say that success without successor is failure in disguise. As people was saying here today that the appointment of the brand new Pro-Chancellor, Professor Ayobiji Agbuola, whom in the words of the immediate Vice-Chancellor, past Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, Professor Olatunde, is PC with CV. If anything, when you say a DC is CV, with CV, you talk of his technical competence, you talk of intellectual capacity, and of course, own capacity. The one thing I want to tell you today is that our brand new Vice-Chancellor has a very strong home that is being manned by a very capable person. A person I would describe as very other person than the wife of the Prof, the Vice-Chancellor, our own Professor Mrs. A.M. Agbuola. I will put our hands together. That is our Madam Vice-Chancellor, Professor Mrs. A.M. Agbuola. Thanks for coming. We equally have in our midst a distinguished personality, a distinguished professor of this great university, who equally is a member of the Governing Council of this university, Professor Mrs. Olatunde. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we go to one of the key events of the day, which is the unveiling and presentation of the book and the chief launcher's remarks. You have been wondering since morning if we were able to bring the big fish, the current newsmaker in Nigeria. He got him seated as a captain audience for over 2 hours now. There must be a reason. And that reason is unfolding before us. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a loud applause to invite the #1 citizen of Asuu, the man they could not arrest. He turned in the flesh of oppressors. A very friend. Okay, let me leave that to her because we are. Please join me in welcoming Professor Emmanuel Osodeke to the microphone. Professor Bello, Professor Osodeke will also give a remark. Let the applause continue, please.
Dear comrades, permit me to call one or two of our colleagues to join me. It is an Asuu function. And #1 I will call is the person, whenever a chairman is elected, his remark is that, may your way be rough. So, Vice-Chancellor, may your way be rough. And after Vice-Chancellor, thank God for surviving the rough way. So I want to plead with Dr. Biodu to join me. And the chairman, all of you, join me.
will also join in. Kindly please. So that expect, and the good thing is that the secretary, the financial secretary is here, and the treasurer is here. So I'm protected. So we will unveil it, and as usual with our union, it's a very disciplined union. We are not going to say how much we are going to give or who will give. We will meet and we'll let you know. On that note, on behalf of Asuu, or you, and Asuu National, we want, and then this university, or you, we want to obey the book titled A Goland Indeed, Great Outstanding Leadership and Administrator to the core, Professor Olatunde. So we are going to take about, we will request for 10 copies or 20 copies, and like I said, we will respond to the committee or whoever is in charge as soon as possible. On that note, we present this book to Nigerian public and the world all over. In Jesus' name. So permit me to now make my brief remarks. Well, we have also established the protocol. As of today, until the third Vice-Chancellor, we are attending a ceremony marking the end of his tenure. The first is of Michael Elabara. The second one is the VC of UNILAG, and this is the third one. And this is because of how these Vice-Chancellors have comported themselves and managed very difficult situations. I was told about this VC that what the university gets every month as allocation for salary from the government is 76 million naira. But the wage bill is 430 million naira. That is less than 20%. But of all the universities in this country, one of those who made up our payment or salary during last two strike, 2020 and today, is OOU. And I think it's a miracle. Two, when I watched him and I looked at him, I heard about him. Something came to my mind about this video past lecture I want to give him. Which is the only thing I have, good lecture, but I have something that I need to talk about. That is Vice-Chancellor as Chief Executive Officer. The only thing we got it wrong is that in many universities, we look at Vice-Chancellor as Chief Executive Officer, which by the law is not true. A Vice-Chancellor is just one amongst equal. And any Vice-Chancellor who look at the system and look at itself as one amongst equal will not have problem running the university. So that all the actions are taken by committees. You have to look at that committee and agree or disagree. And when you disagree, you go back to them. But today, what we are having in major, more than 90% of our university today are Vice-Chancellors who look at themselves as Chief Executive Officer. And there is nowhere in the law that permits the Vice-Chancellor as CEO. But it's only university that everything you do can be challenged. In a normal system, even your student, a 100-level student can challenge a professor. If they do that, what you have taught them is not correct.
In Solarin, university, you can have your student being your head of the department, and you are just a staff department. Cannot happen anywhere. So, the way this Vice-Chancellor has acted as a non-chief executive officer, I also expect him coming to also look at himself as friends among equals. And when we do that, we will not have problem. Let me say, he had problem with the union. It's not a problem with you. It's how you resolve that problem like this. As we speak so, we have after the first 6 universities that were established, state universities. Ambrose Ali University, then it was Bello State, Enugu State University, now Asuu, Abia State University, then Asuu, River State University, Ekiti State University, and all you. The only one we have peace today, and we have everybody being proud of like this, is all you. In Ekoma, we have a military Vice-Chancellor, who can just wake up one day and say, I'll remove all these things, elected things, and appoint new one. In Asuu, it's a no-go area. Everything collapsed. In Abia State University, collapsed. No salary, 12 years, 12 months, and nobody's complaining. And then the immediate past people want to be a governor. In River State, it's taken over by the governor. For you to be promoted in River State University, the governor must approve. So a council can assess 20 people, and governor says only ABCD that he knows are promoted. For you to go on sabbatical in River State University, you must get permission of the governor. So we have been refused to not the university. Ekiti State. Yeah, I have a very good friend. That's why I'm looking at you. Who calls me Emmanuel Osodeke, and I call him Eddie Olatunde. In fact, I think they are here. They will tell you the story. So I want to appeal to you. We don't want to send a committee here. You can resolve your problem. And you should resolve your problem. You know you were now. I don't know. And you see with us, is this still in committee? Head. So who will tell you are removing? So what am I saying that? We are very proud to be here today, knowing that this university also produced a very sound president of Asuu, who passed through also a very rough, the roughest way so far, he passed through the system. And he did extra time. Instead of 4 years, he did 5 years. Congratulations. For our colleagues here, I want to thank you. When I entered this compound, I was not telling myself, I can see why PDK is interested in banning Asuu. Because once Asuu is prescribed, this one becomes a government duty. In UI, when it's prescribed, it becomes a government duty. In UNILAG, that is starting, that is doing something. All this one, go to Nayu, go to the best building Nayu, Asuu. The best building Uniport, Asuu. The best building here now, the beauty and design. What is it? In Maiduguri, what do you have? Go to Junior Abuja. Anybody went there, show 200 minutes. Are you sure it's Asuu? So they will never succeed in banning Asuu. So on that note, I want to thank all of you. I want to thank my colleagues from all the universities. I want to thank the Vice-Chancellor for being very humble. Please, you can join us in Asuu when you okay, that's true now. You will replace him in that committee. So on that note, Asuu, like I also said, Asuu is just a union that is very open, a union that has set the system, and having access you and find you worthy that you will come here today to join the process. We try to suspend everything and be here. We should have been in Abuja now, but tomorrow we are supposed to have a meeting, but we have to appeal to shift it to ensure that we are here because it's very vital. And to also serve as contractors for that university. It's a pride of how we visit who our brand believes we should honor. I will really honor you. And because God will bless you as you go along. And for the present VC, we pray that we should not have any problem with you. When you are ready like I did, we are also ready. Thank you very much.
Let's give it to ourselves, please. Let's give it to ourselves. Thank you very much. You can be seated. We'll be seated. Is that university chancellors are not only non-parent, but they are primus inter pares. So it takes humility for a distinguished scholar to accomplish all the noted testimonies that our DG, our GO has accomplished today. And our prayer is that your shadow will not grow less. That takes us to the next item on the agenda, which is a demonstration of love, a presentation of award by the union. I have the pleasure to invite the chief host, our own Dr. Joe Kiwale, to come and do the needful in this regard. Can we give him an applause, Dr. Kiwale?
Thank you very much for how we have painstakingly followed through in the program, and we are almost coming to a conclusion. We cannot do that without appreciating the good work of our immediate past Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ganiyu Olatunde, in appreciation of all that he has done, which have been well documented, and which we cannot pay for really. We just want to appreciate him with a token present, which is nearby my right hand side there. So, comrade Admiral Vice-Chancellor, Professor G.O. Olatunde, we ask you to indulge it to please step out for the little token that we have for you. I would also want to take the indulgence of our President to please also join me in this presentation.
Comrades, on behalf of the Academic Tribunal University, OOU, we present this to the outgoing Vice-Chancellor. Congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, thank you, everybody. This is the flag and the very giant freezer.
Gio, please don't go too fast, sir. It's my pleasure to hand over the microphone to you for your feedback.
The National President of Asuu, my Vice-Chancellor, Principal Officers of Asuu, Principal Officers of the University, members of Asuu NEC, my distinguished comrades here present, friends, colleagues, associates, students, I want to start on a note of appreciation. First, I will want to appreciate the national president of Asuu, the principal officers of Asuu, and members of Asuu NEC for taking time out of their very tight schedule to be here with us today. I appreciate my new Pro-Chancellors who were with us at the commencement of this ceremony. I appreciate colleague VCs that are here with us. I appreciate Asuu OOU and indeed Asuu from other branches here present and their chairmen. Those online and those who are unavoidably absent. I appreciate my friends and families and well-wishers. I appreciate all comrades here present and those online. I appreciate our students for their support. I did not and I can never take this gathering for granted. Because this celebration is unique. So I thank the national president and all present here that made this gathering what is gathering. The position of VC is tough. It takes the support of God for you to go through. Is it in terms of funding, student problems, staff crisis, and a lot of other challenges? I'm sure a number of us will be wondering how we made it, how we succeeded thus far. One, I was blessed with a great team. The principal officers of this university with very loyal deputies and other officers. I was blessed with good and outstanding and understanding staff. I was blessed with an understanding union, and above all, I enjoyed the prayers and support of Vice-Chancellor staff. I thank the winning team
I call this group the only team. I'm the only person that is leading. Others are here. For their support, the principal officers, they've been so supportive. The then Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academic, who is now the Vice-Chancellor, was very loyal and hardworking. Deji, I will call you Deji again. By the grace of the Almighty, your performance will surpass mine. God will be with you and your team. I thank all staff of OOU and students for their prayers and best wishes. To my comrades who are here and those online that are aspiring to higher positions of authority or who are already in such positions, my advice is that they should ensure that they play by the rules and regulations of the organization to which they may be appointed. Besides, they should work hard and pray. I told some of my colleagues that please, when you find yourself or you aspire for position of authority, I beg you, don't occupy or don't attain that office on the basis of self-enrichment. It will only lead to regrets. I wish to appreciate you all, and in particular to appreciate God. All we have achieved were due to the support of God and the grace of the Almighty. Honestly, I'm overwhelmed. I'm grateful to you all. I thank you all for being here. God bless you. Before I take my seat, I will call on Mr. Toyibu. Please, can I have that part? I have a presentation to make to the national president. And the team and the national officers here, and the principal of Asuu, and the chairman, and the zonal coordinators. My president, sir. This publication, maybe we may just show them one. Detail the work we've done in the last 5.5 years. And now we were able to surpass, circumvent all the difficulties that we experienced. So it's titled our scorecard, and it's detailed back years of what we've gone through in the last in this university. It's a book that I will recommend for some of our aspiring leaders and those who are already in the position. It's my pleasure, my president, to present a bundle of this book for you, for your use and decision to others that you think will be useful. Thank you so much. That is all. I thank you all for your support. God bless you.
Please, the GO remains my captive audience just for a minute or two. We have the approval of the VC to allow some students who have come here to also extend their appreciation to the office for gifts. So to that extent, I invite the students. So students, go and make your presentation.
Standing on the existing protocol, our fathers and our mothers, the Vice-Chancellor of the University, the immediate Vice-Chancellor, and all other management that are here. My fellow comrades that are here, today, we find it grateful, even though we got the information late, and we have to find ourselves to let ourselves down here. Today, it's a surprise for us that Asuu can be celebrating the Vice-Chancellor. We are students. We understand the struggle of Asuu, and at times it comes with a lot of time from Vice-Chancellors. And we do wonder that it's wisdom, the kind of wisdom and grace God has given you. Recently, some students I discussed recently that, oh, you always escape Asu's fight. He doesn't fall inside exam, he doesn't fall inside critical academic activities, which is very true of the 5 years in administration. Sir, when you were married, we promised you that you are going to continue peace and you enjoy the 5 years of peace. No simple protest was done in your administration. Today, all the 5 SEC presidents send their greetings to you. And I'm sure by the time you check your one service list, you see a lot of epistles of message from all of them. You are a father that doesn't discriminate. That is why every one of us named the Sheriff of New OU. We saw the landmark work you have done. Know how we met OU, not the difficulties we met. But glory to God, give us a landing path. You are a great future. And the president, the current president of Olatunde University, is the one standing beside you. Is ready to present this highest award on behalf of the students and union government. Sir, this award represents both physical, non-physical, and metamorphosis, and the unseen forces of Olatunde University. And all structures, corporate, and all joint forces send their greetings. Everyone enjoy peace. So many sleeping banner was in the dawn. We present you that.
Number one, nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently.
The current Vice-Chancellor should also stand up, sir, as physical and metaphysical.
within the next 1 minute, I want all of us to stand up to see the jolly, for he is actually good fellow for our hands-on visit. But this time around, it's going to be the Ijebu version. So, if you know it, follow me. If you don't know it, just listen to me and follow it up. Ẹni rere lẹ̀wẹ̀ jẹ́ o, ẹni rere lẹ̀wẹ̀ jẹ́ o, ẹni rere. Muso, ẹni rere lẹ̀wẹ̀ jẹ́ o, ẹni rere lẹ̀wẹ̀ jẹ́ o, ẹni rere lẹ̀wẹ̀ jẹ́ Thank you.
Thank you. Please sit down. Please sit down. Please sit down. We have just 2 minutes to leave the hall. When in the African tradition, when someone has done you some favor, there is the need to appreciate it. And what we are about to do is to appreciate those who have made this program a success. We want to start with the president of Asuu. The impression most people have about the president of Asuu, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke, some people call him Oshodeke, but whichever way, whatever you call him, he remains the pain on the neck of his oppressors. Some people felt that the man doesn't laugh at all. That he doesn't laugh. Today you have seen him not only smiling, but also laughing. You have seen that aspect of him here today. And that goes to show that when you make your employees happy, you can always get the best out of them. He is a good man. And for having left his tight schedules, brought about by endless negotiations to attend this program. Up until last night, we were still wondering whether he would attend or not. But he promised that he would attend. And for him to have come all the way from wherever from the country, we want to say thank you to you, sir. We appreciate you so much. We appreciate you so much. God bless you. This is a plus for us or you. We thank you so much. We also want to thank the other principal officers of the union, the financial secretaries here. He has supported us all the way. We thank you for coming. We also have the treasurer of the union. He is there, the immediate past zonal coordinator of Lagos. We want to thank you so much, Professor Shiki Sowande, for coming. May God continue to bless you and to strengthen you so that in the struggle for our union, you will always excel. You will always excel. No weapon fashioned against you shall prosper. You will always defeat your enemies. And at the end of the day, we will sing the song of victory. Thank you so much. And this goes to all principal officers present here. We want to thank our IPP. He is a gentleman. But you get the best out of him, don't step on his toes. Yes, so we are proud of him too. Our IPP professor. We thank you so much. Professor Bello, God bless you. And in absentia, I want to also thank the Pro-Chancellor, Professor Asuu, for finding it
important to attend our program, even when the notice was just about a week. It shows how important he holds Asuu. So we want to say thank you to him. And also to say thank you to the incumbent Vice-Chancellor. I don't know how to address him now. I'll still have to take my time in trying to relate with the new Vice-Chancellor. We used to be friends, we used to be friends, yes, but now I don't even know how to relate with him now. But God will help me. God will help one of us. So Professor J. God will strengthen and bless you. You will excel. And you will perform even much better than the immediate Vice-Chancellor. Because he has blessed you and you will remain blessed forever. We also want to thank the other principal officers of the university administration, starting from the registrar sitting here. May God bless you, sir. You are a good man too, and you will remain good forever. We want to thank the board, for being part of us here today. They spent their time, in spite of the time they do, we want to say thank you to you. All the requests we have made, they've always granted our requests, and that is why we are the best you can see here today. We want to say thank you to you, and God bless you. We also want to thank our distinguished lecturer who has left. In spite of his very tight schedule, we gave him that assignment. He accepted it without any hesitation. He was willing to talk because he felt that the topic was a good one at a time like this. He accepted it. And when he delivered, we all applauded him. These are the kind of people that will populate our universities. Those who are ready to serve, those who are ready to show good examples. So we say thank you to you, and God help you. May God help you too. Now, you know, we have only one DBC now in this university. The other one has been taken away to the other side. But hopefully we will get another deputy vice-chancellor. So our deputy vice-chancellor me, who is also, that's the only DBC we have for now. Professor Adekoya is a gentleman. He doesn't talk much. He's loved by everyone. And we also love you too. We want to say thank you for your time and for your good wishes. He was a past vice-chairman. He's not just a vice-chancellor. He was a vice-chairman. So we say thank you for gracing this occasion. Professor Rahmon Bello, please, we want to say thank you to you for honoring us with your presence and the beautiful lecture you delivered. We will always come for more. Now, the man being honored today is a lucky man, and when I grow up, I would like to be like him. I would like to be like him. Of the vice-chancellors we invited, I'm sure they were unable to attend because of their tight schedules. We want to thank them all for gracing this occasion. We also thank the zonal coordinators present here. There are quite a number of them, so you pardon me if I don't mention names.
but we want to thank you for your time. And we also want to thank the chairpersons of our branches across the country, invited and present, for your time. They've been around since yesterday, and they have been enjoying the beautiful environment created by Professor G.O. Olatunde. We thank you so much for coming to the program. We also want to thank our members from across the country present here today. We invited them, and in spite of the fact that some of them never received salaries for the past 6 months, they still found their ways down here. It is because of the love they have for this university. They wanted to come and see the beauty of the environment, and they have seen it. I pray that you go back to your campuses and replicate this. I wish you would replicate this. This is a beauty to behold. God bless you. We also thank our deans, our provosts, wherever you are, we want you to be good ambassadors of the university, and may God see you through. So, I want to thank all of us and wish us that when next you are invited to this place, you will see a much better OOU when next you visit us. I'm told the OOU radio is also here. OOU radio. Okay, thank you so much. We want to say thank you. We want to say thank you to the pressmen who have just left. By tomorrow, you begin to see the report of this gathering and this event. May God help us, all of us. You know, I just said there are only 3 ways of saying thank you. The first one is to say thank you. The second one is to say thank you very much. And the third one is thank you very much indeed. I say thank you very much indeed. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Shall we give a round of applause? Now we have come to the end of the program for today. Just to inform you that immediately after the national anthem, we'll be having a group photograph with the distinguished men and the high table outside the building. Thank you very much. Can we all rise for the national anthem, please?